Okay, let's just jump right in. If you've ever bought a shiny apple or, a crisp cucumber from the supermarket, you've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
That incredibly slick, waxy coating. And you have to wonder, right? Is this secretly bad for me? Should I be scrubbing it off?
Or is just rinsing it enough?
Exactly.
Well, welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a whole stack of sources. We're talking regulatory reports from the FDA, the USDA, the
The
CDC,
big ones.
the big ones, and we're pairing that with some really specialized molecular level university research to give you the definitive science-backed answers about that fruit wax.
And I think this is going to transform the way you think about cleaning, well, every piece of produce that comes into your kitchen.
I think so too.
Our mission here is really to move past the myths, the stuff you see on social media, and give you actionable knowledge. We are going beyond the simple rinse.
Way beyond.
We're showing you exactly where that seemingly innocent wax layer fits into this whole complex battle against pesticides and, microbial threats.
It's a science of clean.
The science of clean tailored for you.
So let's start with the biggest concern. The one we hear every single time this comes up. Is the commercial wax coating safe to eat?
The million-dollar question.
And the simple, evidence-based answer from every major regulatory agency is a firm yes.
Okay, and I think we need to be really clear here for anyone who has seen those fear-mongering posts online.
Absolutely. The claims that fruit wax causes cancer are unequivocally not supported by scientific evidence, period.
It's just fear based on a misunderstanding, not actual data.
That's it, exactly. I mean, these waxes are made of food-grade materials that have extensive safety histories, and importantly, they're indigestible by humans.
So they just cast through.
They pass through the digestive system completely unabsorbed. It's often compared to, accidentally swallowing chewing gum.
Ah, okay. I get that.
From a toxicity standpoint, they're a non-issue because your body just doesn't absorb them.
So if the wax itself is safe then,
Mm-hmm.
why is it there in the first place? I've heard that apples make their own wax.
They do. An apple naturally produces its own protective wax layer. It's called the bloom.
That's that sort of dusty white coating you see sometimes.
Exactly. But the commercial processing, the washing, it strips that natural bloom away. So they have to replace it.
Ah, so they're putting back what they took off.
Precisely. The approved food-grade wax is applied to restore that protection. It serves the exact same functions. It reduces water loss, keeps the fruit firm and juicy, prevents spoilage, and slows ripening.
So my apple lasts longer in the fridge.
Weeks longer, which means a huge reduction in food waste.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. It's a preservation tool.
Oh.
So what are we actually, eating? What is this stuff made of?
The majority of what you're eating is carnauba wax. It
Sure.
comes from the leaves of the Brazilian palm tree. It's plant-based. It's vegan-friendly.
And what about the super shiny stuff?
For those really glossy coatings, you might find shellac.
Shellac, like for nails.
Sort of. It comes from the resinous secretion of the lac bug.
A bug.
And sometimes beeswax or even chitosan, which can be derived from fungi. The key takeaway is these aren't some weird industrial chemicals. They're widely approved, food-safe coatings.
Okay, but now let's get to the critical complication.
Right, and here is the nuance that really flips the whole cleaning narrative. While the wax itself is safe, a significant scientific finding suggests that these coatings might actually inhibit the dissipation of pesticide residues.
Hold on. Say that again. I always thought if I remove the wax, I remove the pesticide. But you're saying the wax is actually protecting the pesticides.
In a way, yes. Think of the wax layer and the fruit's cuticle like my microscopic sponge.
Okay.
A lot of common pesticides, especially older ones like capon and boscolid, are what we call lipophilic.
Meaning they're fat soluble.
Exactly. Since the wax is basically a fat or oil coating, it acts as what researchers call a sorption site. It's a reservoir. It literally traps these compounds on the fruit's surface.
That is a wow fact right there.
Yeah.
So the conversation shifts from, is the wax bad for me, to, wow, the wax complicates my cleaning strategy.
Precisely. This came out of a 2022 molecular-level study on apples. That research found that waxing seems to increase the lingering risk of pesticide presence because it creates a barrier that slows down their degradation.
So now we have two different pesticide problems. The ones on the surface and I guess the ones that get deeper.
That's the perfect way to put it. The ones trapped in the wax are surface residues. They were sprayed on, they sit on the outside.
Right.
But there are also systemic pesticides. These are totally different. They're designed to be absorbed by the plant as it grows through the roots or leaves.
So the plant itself, the fruit's flesh, becomes saturated with it.
Right, it protects the fruit from the inside out. And that molecular study found that these systemic pesticides penetrate about 4 times deeper into the apple flesh.
And the cleaning implication there is pretty huge.
It's critical. No amount of surface cleaning, I don't care if it's water, scrubbing, or the strongest household solution, will touch those internalized systemic residues.
Okay, that clarifies the ultimate limitation of washing right there. So with this new insight about wax-trapping surface residues, let's talk cleaning. What's the FDA's baseline advice?
The FDA's guidance is straightforward. It's aimed mostly at microbial pathogens, dirt and germs.
Right.
They say washing under clean, cool, running water right before you eat, cut, or cook is enough for routine safety.
But I have to ask the question everyone is thinking. Why can't I just use dish soap? It cuts grease. Wax is basically grease. It seems logical.
It is a very logical assumption, but the FDA is very clear here. They explicitly recommend against using soap, detergent, or any of those commercial produce washes.
Why so firm on that?
The risk of chemical residue is just higher than the benefit. I mean, dish soap isn't formulated to be eaten. Residues can linger in the porous surface of the produce, and you could leave behind something worse than what you were trying to remove.
Okay, stick to things you can actually eat. So running water is the baseline. But what if we want to go beyond that? To specifically target those surface pesticides trapped in the wax, what does science say is the best practice?
For maximum surface pesticide reduction, we have to look at controlled studies, ones that use really advanced analytical methods to precisely measure pesticide levels.
Right.
And that research has shown pretty definitively that a sodium bicarbonate solution baking soda is the most effective household method for this.
Okay, the learner in our audience needs an actionable recipe. What's the mix?
The optimal solution is about 10 milligrams per milliliter.
Which translates to?
Roughly 1 teaspoon of baking soda dissolved in about 1 cup of water.
And what do you do with it?
You soak the produce. It leverages the alkaline conditions to help break down that wax pesticide bond.
And for how long? Because, people are busy.
This is the catch. It requires a soak of 12 to 15 minutes.
Okay, that's a commitment.
It is, which is why it's not the routine standard. But it is scientifically superior for that specific problem.
So you'd use this for, say, an apple you're going to eat with the skin on, but maybe not when you're going to peel for a pie anyway.
That's the strategic way to think about it, exactly.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You tailor the wash to the produce. So let's go back to that firm produce. Apples, pears, melons.
For anything firm, you need to combine running water with mechanical action. Use a clean, soft, bristled vegetable brush.
The scrubbing is key.
It is. It physically gets into those areas where dirt and wax accumulate.
Yeah.
And even if you plan to peel something like a melon or a cucumber, you have to wash the outside first
Why is that?
to prevent transferring bacteria like salmonella from the surface onto the clean flesh when your knife cuts through it.
Ah, good point. Now, what about leafy greens? Lettuce, spinach, kale. The focus here totally shifts, right? It's less about pesticides and more about germs.
Absolutely. E. coli and salmonella. Leafy greens are tough because they have such a large textured surface area. The best method is to rinse individual leaves under cool, high-flow running water.
High flow. So really turn the tap up.
You got it. The research emphasizes that the mechanical force, the sheer pressure of the water, is what's essential for detaching those pathogens.
Okay, crucial time saver question. The bag of lettuce says pre-washed or triple rinsed. My instinct is to wash it again, just in case.
Resist that instinct. Do not rewash them.
Really?
The commercial process is, frankly, better than what you can do at home. They use purified water, sometimes ozone treatments. The FDA and CDC are clear. Further washing is unnecessary and actually risks recontaminating it from your sink or your hands.
You're more likely to make it dirty than cleaner.
Exactly.
Okay, what about the delicate stuff? Berries, soft tomatoes, herbs, you can't scrub those.
No, you'll destroy them. These require the gentlest handling. Put them in a colander and use a gentle spray or a very quick dunk in a bowl of cool running water.
Not a long soak.
Definitely not. They absorb water, they get mushy, they lose flavor. Quick and gentle is the rule.
So we've established that removing the wax isn't really a health necessity. But are there times when you would want to, beyond the pesticide soak?
Yeah, there are some practical non-safety reasons. First is home processing.
Like making jam or something.
Exactly. If you're making apple butter, dehydrated chips, anything that uses the peel, the wax can interfere. It can cause separation or a greasy texture.
Yeah, the second reason.
Just personal preference. Some people have sensitivities to specific components like shellac. Or maybe the coating's just visibly thick and unappealing. In that case, that baking soda soak works perfectly.
What if you want a faster way to get it off without the 15-minute soak?
A 50-50 vinegar and water solution can help disrupt the wax for wiping. Or an old-school method is a very quick dip-like 10 to 15 seconds in boiling water.
Just a flash.
Just a flash. Then you immediately rub it with a cloth and rinse it in cold water. The heat just softens the wax enough to wipe it away.
You know, all of this effort, it brings me to one final point that we probably all overlook: cross-contamination.
This is the single most common cause of foodborne illness in the home.
Yeah.
You have to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds before and after handling produce.
And the sink, too.
Yes. Clean your sinks, your counters, your cutting boards before you even start washing the food. You don't want to transfer bacteria from a plastic package or your hands onto your freshly cleaned apple.
That was a true deep dive. I mean, what most of us thought was just a simple rinse and go is so much more complex.
It is, but let's distill it down. 3 quick, actionable points for you to use immediately.
Okay, give us the key takeaways.
First, the wax itself is safe, it's edible, but its real relevance is that it acts like a chemical sponge, trapping surface pesticides and making them harder to remove with just water.
Number 2.
For general health and minimizing germ risk, high-flow running water and gentle scrubbing for firm produce is the FDA standard. And please do not use dish soap.
Got it. And the final point.
And finally, if your priority is maximum surface pesticide reduction and you plan to eat the peel, that 12 to 15-minute soak in a weak baking soda solution is scientifically superior. But remember, only peeling gets rid of those deep systemic residues.
We've officially moved from just passive rinsing to, well, strategic cleaning.
That's a great way to put it.
Knowing the science means we can stop worrying about those viral myths and start thinking about the right tool for the job. A high-flow rinse for lettuce, a baking soda soak for that beautiful, waxy apple.
Which leads me to an interesting final thought for you to chew on. Given what we now know, that the wax traps these compounds we want to avoid, will we see future fruit processors add another step?
Like what?
Like maybe an ozone wash or some other commercial rinse to mitigate pesticide risk before they even apply the protective wax coating?
A fascinating possibility. The next level of food safety. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into produce science.
And if you found this useful, please hit that subscribe button. It ensures you get our next knowledge shortcut delivered right to you.
We'll see you on the next deep dive.